And you're probably going to have to say yes to the recording. I'm saying this mainly to my mother, who is here today and doesn't use her iPad very much. So you're going to have to do a little, yes, I give you permission to record me. And then I'm going to scoot back to my chair and I'm going to have a seat. I've got both of my chairs here. This one I'm not going to use right away. So I've got, right from the beginning, I have my blanket on the back of my chair just to show you that that's an option for you if you've got a really uncomfortable chair, because it makes it kind of nice to have that blanket there. I'm going to show you a trick with the blanket in just a second, but I want to mention my balls that I love. I have balls that I roll my feet on all the time. We're not going to do it because I didn't ask you to bring balls, but this is one of the best things that you can do for your body is simply roll your feet on balls. It sends a message of relaxation through your entire body. It sends energy through your entire body. It begins to move energy through the fascial system, the connective tissue system in your body, and it feels great on your feet. So I would say if you have a ball, it doesn't have to be the kind of ball I have, but something around this size is really nice and really helpful. I can hear that someone is not muted, so I'm going to come over here and mute you. Okay. So the blanket, a little trick for the blanket. Some of you might not know this about me, but I have something called torticollis, which means that my head rotates to one side. Okay, it always goes to the left. Some of you may have noticed that about me. It is super annoying when you're trying to sit up and do anything where you're sitting still for a period of time. So my head will start to go like this, and then my brain will start to go, there goes my head again, blah, 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 and then I'm out of the moment instantly. So when I actually took a restorative yoga training, and we talked about people who were sitting in chairs, and we decided as a group that this was a really nice thing to do for people like me or anybody who would like to just rest their head while they're sitting in a chair. So you take your blanket, you unfold it, you fold it the long ways, and your blanket might not be this long, but most blankets aren't perfectly square. So you fold it the long way, and then you fold it the long way again. And if it's still pretty big, you can fold it the long way again. So you get kind of like this little snake of a blanket, and then you put it around your neck, underneath. So this little part from the right is going to go under my left arm, and this little part from the left is going to go under my right arm. So I basically cocooned myself with this blanket around my neck, and then I can sit here in relaxation and relax because my head is held perfectly still and perfectly in place by this blanket. And it's actually a really nice and snuggly feeling. So that's the reason I had you bring a blanket. So you can try that at the end. And I will remind you how to do it. It's just fold the long way, fold the long way, fold the long way as many times as you can to make a nice little cowl for your neck. All right, let's get started here. Important thing, when you're in a chair, you want your thighs to be parallel to the floor. If you are a short person, your thighs might start to do this instead so that you can get your legs to the floor. So if that is you, if you are a short person, I happen to be an average size person, so I don't have that problem. My thighs are completely level to the floor when I'm sitting in a chair. But if yours look more like that, you're going to use a block underneath your feet to get your thighs to a parallel position with the floor. Is it vital? No, but it's going to help you feel more grounded and connected. You'll be able to get the four corners of your feet on the floor rather than feeling more like this with your heels up. So it really does help with that connection. So if you are a short person and you have that problem, or you have a really high chair for whatever reason, put a block underneath your feet, or you could use a blanket, you could use a pillow, but whatever you feel like you really can ground down into. And then when we're starting a practice, if you're leaning against the back of the chair, put that blanket behind you so that you feel like you're sitting up and you're not leaning back. So I feel okay without the blanket here. I can feel the very bottom part of the back of my chair resting in my low back, and that feels secure enough for me. Because what I want to do is lengthen up through the crown of the head. I want to feel those neutral curves of the spine, just like someone who's sitting on the floor. Because basically, we are sitting just like the people on the floor, except we don't have our legs crossed like they do, or our legs straight like they do. So it's the same thing. All we're doing with the chairs is bringing up the floor instead of us going down. So think of the chair as a prop that brings up the floor. So we'll rest our hands on our knees, in our lap, hanging down beside you, doesn't really matter. We just want to get the spine long and the shoulders relaxed and the heart lifted. So we're not leaning forward like we do with everything that we do. So we have that nice open heart that I always talk about, and we can slide our ears back over our shoulders. If you don't know if your ears are over your shoulders, 2 and 3 fingers back with the chin, so pressing back with the chin. And here we are. Close your eyes if you like to close your eyes. If you don't like closing your eyes, that's okay. You can keep them open. Just stare at something that's not moving. And now we want to take these next few minutes to begin to feel grounded, like we're connected to the earth. We have our feet on the floor. We feel our feet on the floor. We have our hips on the chair. We feel our hips on the chair. We feel our hands where they're resting on our knees or hanging beside us. And we just embody who we are. So we feel like we are inside our bodies and not just in our heads. We've been breathing, of course, this whole time, but now we're going to put our attention on the breath. And we're going to draw the breath all the way down into the belly. So feel the belly expand, the rib cage expand, the chest expand, and then exhale from the chest to the rib cage to the belly. So we feel the belly drawing back towards the spine. There's no difference whether we're sitting in a chair or on the floor. So big 3-part breath, draw the breath into the belly, the rib cage, and the chest. Exhale from the chest to the rib cage to the belly. And let's do that a few times. And don't forget that we're breathing into the entire torso, not just the front of the body. So also the low back, the middle back, the upper back. As we breathe in, feel your whole torso expanding with breath. We're breathing in through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. I always, always, always prefer nose breathing. It's better for your health. Inhale through the nose, exhale from the nose or the mouth. And feel yourself becoming more grounded, more embodied, and more connected to the present moment, entering our practice together. Let's create an intention for our practice today. We'll breathe that in. We'll let that go. And then we're going to start to move. Let's start today. I'm going to get my second chair kind of out of the way here. I'm not going to need that yet. I'm going to move closer to the front edge of my chair. I'm not going to feel the back of my chair against me anymore. I'm just going to hold myself upright. Arms are coming down beside you. Inhale, arms up. We'll start with 3 sun breaths. And exhale, float your arms down. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, floating the arms down. And we'll do one more. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Let's let our arms hang here. So shoulders are heavy. We'll start with a circle with the tip of the nose. And then we'll circle the other way. And then back to the center. Let's look to the right. Inhale through the middle and look to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center, and exhale to the left. Come back to the center. We'll lift and roll the shoulders. So as you can see, nothing is different. We could be sitting on the floor with our legs crossed, doing exactly the same thing that everybody sitting on the floor is doing. So we're lifting and rolling, lifting and rolling, lifting and rolling. All right, let's play the piano. Get your fingers moving, get your thumbs moving. Really move them. Stretch your hands, open, big movements. And then let's circle the wrists. I like to warm up. I've always warmed up in all my classes. Telling your muscles, telling your joints, hello, we're here, it's time to go. Let's circle the other way. And then let's let the arms hang again. We're going to do a little run. So tapping the feet, little run. And then relax again. Put your hands on your knees. You might want to put a little space between your legs and we'll do a big circle around. So this is where you've really got to get scooted out to the end of your chair. So when you roll back, you're not rolling into the back of your chair. Give yourself a little space. This is why I like no arms on chairs too, because there's nothing like you're bumping into here. Let's circle the other way. This always feels so good in my back. I just feel like, wow, if I did nothing else, if I did this. It also moves energy. Anytime we move energy. Anytime we move, we're getting toxins out of our body. Always a good thing. Let's come all the way back up. We'll step our feet back to about hip distance. Bring your hands to your heart. So when the rest of us are standing and doing sun salutations, half sun salutations, you can be doing the same thing. If you notice when we're doing half salutes, our feet do not move. So we're just folded up, right? We folded ourselves here. We can do the same thing everyone else is doing. Let's inhale our arms up. And exhale, we're folding over. Of course, our knees are going to stop us here. That's okay. Let your head hang. Come part way up like you're lengthening your spine, taking a breath. Exhale, folding over. And then inhale, big arms, reaching up. And exhale your hands to your heart. Let's do another one like that. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, fold it over. Let your head hang down. Come part way up, take a breath. And exhale. Reach it up, big arms. Spine stays long. And exhale your hands to your heart. Let's do another one. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold it over. Part way up. Fold it over. Inhale. Oh, feels good to get those arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. And let's bring our hands to our knees again. All right, we're sitting on the edge of our chair, close to the edge. You want to feel secure, not like you're going to fall over the front edge, but close enough to the edge that you don't feel the back of your chair anymore. We're going to do a little round of cat-cow, seated cat-cow. The wonderful thing about cat-cow is you can do it standing, you can do it seated in a chair, you can do it seated on the floor, you can do it on your hands and knees, anywhere that your spine is free. So let's take a breath in. And we'll exhale, round it back towards the chair, chin to chest. And as we inhale, we're going to go into a little back bend here, cow, seated cow, and gaze up to where the wall and ceiling meet. We're going to keep going just like this. So we're using our spine. We're moving all of those beautiful little joints of our spine that enable us to do so many incredible, crazy things that we don't even think about. And we want to keep the spine supple, able to move through its full range of motion. So back and forth on your own, take your time. Let's do 2 more breaths together. And then we'll find our long neutral spine again. Let's lift up the left leg and let's hold the knee. Keep the spine long. So instead of rounding towards the knee, let's keep the heart open and we'll circle the ankle. And then the other way. So this is a variation of the balancing posture we do, which is a variation of hand to big toe pose. Of course, sitting takes the balance out of it. Let's put the foot down and go to the other side. So lift up the right knee, bring it right into your chest, relax your shoulders, circle your ankle. And the other way. And then let's put the foot down. We're going to let the right arm either hang here or hold on to your chair somewhere over here. Okay, the back of the chair, the seat of the chair, wherever you can get. We're going to lift up the left arm, take a breath, and exhale over towards the right side. So we'll come to our lateral bend. If your arm is hanging, it's a little more challenging for your core. The core muscles are going to have to help you a little bit more. So holding on makes this a little bit easier. We'll keep our shoulders stacked, one on top of the other. And inhale to the center, float your arm down, exhaling and hold on to the left side of your chair. Inhale, right arm lifts, exhale over towards the left. Both of your sitting bones are bearing equal weight on your seat. So we're not tipping. Try not to tip. Big breaths. And then let's release. Inhale, exhale, float the arm down. All right, let's stand up. And let's start with a down dog at the chair. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. You're going to stand at the back of your chair. Now, if you're in a regular class and you want to start down dog with the rest of us, some of you I know do that. Here's down dog with the chair. So your arms are right next to your ears if you can get them there. Your knees are bent, your spine is long. I find that down dog in this position is a little bit more of a stretch for my sides than my back, though I do feel a nice stretch coming up my legs. If you do not want to stand up, you can also do this seated on the back of your other chair. So you can have your arms folded or you could have your arms stretched out if you don't feel like standing up at all. I think most of you are able to join me here in this down Down dog is a nice stretch from a chair. You can also do this against a wall. Let's walk forward towards the chair. And we're going to stand next to the chair. So I've got my right side next to the chair. We'll do a couple balancing postures holding on to the chair. I like to stand with the chair on the side of with the leg that I'm going to stand on, because I feel like if I fall, I'm going to fall in that direction. So I have my chair on my right side. We'll do tree pose first. We're going to come to the left big toe, externally rotate the leg. If you are afraid of falling, you can stay here, or you could bring your foot to your other foot, or your foot to your lower leg, never pressing sideways into the knee or all the way up. You can remain here with your hand on the chair. I also have my hip on the chair, and I feel really good, secure, and safe here. You might try both arms in the air with your chair on your hip. It's like having a friend here helping you a little bit, but it's a light touch, just gives you a little bit more security. We're going to find a gaze point. You could also have your back against the wall in this position. And we're going to breathe. You've got your foot pressing your thigh. Your thigh is also pressing into your foot. So there's this squeezing at the midline. Arms are branches. We're breathing. Feeling like a strong tree. And then let's release from wherever you are. And we're going to move the chair to the other side. Okay, so now I know I'm going to stand on my left leg, so I'm going to stand with the chair on my left side. I'm going to push it right up next to my hip again. Stand on my left foot, externally rotate my right leg. I always start on my big toe, gives me a chance to get my head in the game. Where are you going with your foot? I'm going to stay on my lower leg this time. I have the chair next to my hip. I'm going to hold on this time with my left hand and just lift my right arm. There's a little bit of an engagement here through the abdominals, just a little bit, like a firmness there. We're breathing. We've got our eyes looking straight ahead. Big breaths. And then let's release. Nice when you got a little friend next to you, isn't it? I love that. Okay, so the next posture we're going to do is knee to chest. So I'm going to show you how to use a chair if you feel really insecure standing on one leg. So if you are A-okay standing on one leg with a little bit of help, do the same thing we just did. Have the chair on your right side, stand on your right foot, bring your knee to your chest. If you feel like you need a little bit more help, you can balance like this. You can put your left leg, instead of holding your knee up, keep your foot on the chair and bring your arms in the air. You're still standing on one leg. Your right leg is still working. You'll still feel your feet trying to adjust to keep you upright. So this is one variation that you might try. You could also do this with your foot on a block if you feel like the seat of your chair is too high. The rest of us are here. Relax your shoulders. And then let's release. If you're standing and using your chair here, we move it to the other side. You're going to stand on your left leg, right knee comes up. If you're using your chair for a little bit more moral support, you've got your right arm on your chair and your arms are here. I'm sorry, your right foot on your chair and your arms are here. Let's relax the shoulders, neck, and face. Big breaths. And then let's release. All right, so 2 variations of balancing postures. Hopefully give you a little idea how to use a chair if you're not in a chair class. The next thing we're going to do is actually chair pose. So I'm going to stand behind my chair. And I'm going to stand far enough away from it that I'm not right on top of it. Okay, so just a comfortable distance so that I can reach my hands out, and there they are resting on the back of the chair. Now I'm going to start to sit on my imaginary chair back here behind me. So I'm going to start to let my hips drop towards that chair, and I'm going to let my weight shift into my heels. Just like we're doing chair in a regular class, but here you've got your friend, the chair, for moral support. So hands on chair, doing chair pose, if that's more comfortable for you. Otherwise, if you don't need the chair, you're right here. Gazing forward or gazing down, wherever you're comfortable with your neck. We're going to take another breath. Feel the four corners of your feet, but most of the weight is in your heels. And then let's release, and we're going to do a little shake. We'll shake that off. Let's take the chair and stand behind it. We're going to move into Warrior Two. I'm going to show you two ways to do it. One way is standing behind the chair. The other way is actually sitting back down in the chair again. So we'll do the first way first, and then I'll show you how to use your chair if you really don't want to stand up. So we're going to take a wide step. See my feet are just a little bit wider than my chair. Turn the right foot out. Most of us probably aren't using a mat, but you could use a mat here. And then the left foot becomes perpendicular to the right. So it's pointing this way, and your right foot is pointing this way. Perpendicular feet. We're going to bend the right knee and take a look over your knee over ankle. All I can see is my big toe. That's your mantra. Feel the four corners of both of your feet. Turn your torso towards the back of your chair. Notice that it wants to go the other way. And then arms are going to lift. Relax your shoulders and gaze out over your right arm. Now, if you do not want to do this standing up, you can like peek at me and I'll show you the other one while you're holding Warrior Two. Everything that we just did can be done sitting down on your chair. Okay, I've got my knee over ankle. All I can see is my big toe. I've got the four corners of my feet. My torso is in line with the back of my chair, even though it's behind me now. Arms outstretched, gazing to the right. Now let's all take a breath. If you're sitting in a chair, we're going to reverse warrior just like this, letting your left hand come to your thigh, right arm looks up. If you're standing, you're going to come here. Now, if you don't feel secure doing that, you're going to hold on with one hand. You're going to hold on with your left hand and just lift your right arm up in the air. So you've got your Warrior Two and then reverse warrior, holding onto your chair. Let's release, come back to the center. We're going to straighten both legs and go to the other side. So we're going to turn the left foot now that way, the right foot this way. Your feet are perpendicular. Your torso is turned towards the back of your chair. You're holding on to start. We're going to bend the left knee over ankle. All I can see is my big toe. And then let's lift up the arms, turn the head to the left, and we're holding Warrior Two. If you're sitting down, you're in the same shape, but you've got your hips on your chair. You can also be holding on here. Hold on with your right hand. Let's breathe. We've got that firmness through the core. And then we'll go to the reverse warrior, which is left arm up, right arm sliding down your thigh. If you don't need the chair, you don't need it. Or you could have it right up next to your hip, holding you up. Or if you're in your chair, you're sitting on your chair and leaning backwards. We've got a lateral bend here. Breathing. And then let's release and come back to the center. All right, we're going to turn the chair around. This is something you can also do sitting down, and I'm going to show you how to do it sitting down. We're going to turn all of our toes forward. So your toes are pointing towards your computer if you're facing your computer. They're parallel to each other. You still have your wide stance here. Feel the four corners of your feet, either side of the heel, either side of the ball. We're going to bring our hands to the seat of the chair. So we're doing a wide angle forward fold with a rotation. All right, it has a super long name. It's Parivrtta Prasarita Padottanasana. Oh my goodness, that's why I never really say it. Okay, so let's be on the four corners of our feet. Remember that you can soften up your knees. We're going to put the left hand in the middle of the chair and we're going to rotate out to the right. Now your left knee will probably bend a little bit more than your right one here, and that's fine. Take a look up at your hand. If you're doing this in a chair, if any of you are still seated, your legs are wide, your hand is on a block, and you're here in that seated position. Same thing, same rotation. Let's breathe. And then we're going to bring the right hand back to the chair. Leave your left hand there right in the middle. Knees are soft. We feel the four corners of our feet. We're going to lengthen the spine. Take a breath. And as we exhale, left arm up. So now your right knee probably feels a little bit more bent than your left knee. That's okay. Let your knees go where they want. Feel the four corners of your feet. That remains stable. Look up. And then let's release. And let's go to down dog, but let's do it on the seat of our chair this time. So instead of the back of the chair, since we're already here at the seat, let's slide our hands out onto the seat of the chair. Now you can spread your fingers nice and wide and let your ears drop down so your arms are on the outside of your ears. We're going to bend the knees a lot, lengthening the spine. You'll probably get a little stretch for your back here that you didn't get before. So this is how you would do downward facing dog on the seat of your chair instead of the back of your chair. Let's take another breath. And then let's release. We're going to sit down again. I'm going to sit a little bit sideways so you can see what we're about to do. Okay, this is where we're going to get our second chair. Okay, so having a second chair is really a wonderful way to bring the entire floor up, and you can do things like straighten your legs like we would be doing if we were sitting on the floor. But we're going to do pigeon pose. So I'm going to put this chair right in front of me. So I'm sitting on one and I've got the other one in front of me. I'm going to bring my right leg in this position. So this is the position for pigeon pose. I've got the side of my right leg on the seat of the chair. Sometimes when I'm in a chair class, I have people do this for pigeon pose. Okay, I'm assuming that most people have one chair. But if you've got two chairs, you get to bring the floor up. So you get to choose whether you're just going to hang out here and lengthen out over your leg, or whether you're going to straighten the other one behind you. Now, if you're straightening the other one behind you, you're going to have to stay more in an upright position to feel like you're not going to fall off your chairs. And you're not going to get the whole foot on the floor. You're just going to get the ball of the foot on the floor. But you can get a stretch in the front of your left thigh, which is nice. If you're not doing that, you can go ahead and really fold down over your leg. So you decide where you're going. And let's just try to relax here and breathe. And then we're going to release. For those of you who are maybe a little more adventurous, you can also do pigeon on the back of your chair. Okay, I just want to show you that option of getting a nice stretch in this pigeon position from that. It's a little bit more of a balance, obviously, but it is a possibility. Let's go to the other side. So we're going to bring the left leg. You can see it better from this side. I'm on the side of my left leg. I can either choose to fold over my leg. I could hold on to the back of my chair if that's more comfortable, or I could decide to stretch my right leg out this time and get a stretch here for the hip flexor. So you get to decide where you want to be. This one's a little more precarious. This one feels a little bit more stable. This is also where you might use a blanket on your chair because this is a hard chair on my bony ankle. Let's be here and breathe. And then the next time we breathe in, we're going to lift up and we're going to put both legs on the chair. So you can see I would be in exactly the same position if I was sitting on the floor. The advantage of having these two chairs. We're going to go into the forward fold. We're hinging from the hip creases. So I'm trying to keep my spine neutral. I'll come to the back of my chair. I can get to the back of my chair. If you can't get to the back of your chair, maybe the seat of your chair. And we're lengthening out over the legs. If it feels better to bend your knees, you can also bend your knees, just like we would do if we were on the floor. Stretching the low back, the back of the legs. I like to let my feet hang over because it gives my feet some freedom and I feel like I can get a little bit further forward in my forward fold. So the seated forward fold, let's take a couple breaths. And then we'll release and come all the way back up. We're going to take the block or whatever you're using as a block. We're going to put it between your thighs and we're going to squeeze. Now I'm keeping the rest of my torso upright here, so I'm not going to go slouchy on anybody here. I'm going to sit up nice and tall, squeeze my inner thighs together, strengthening the inner thighs, and then relax. Keep your block there, book or pillow, whatever you're using. And then we're going to squeeze again. I like to do things in threes. So we're squeezing, we're breathing, we're keeping our nice upright posture. And then let's release. And let's do one more. So squeeze, 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 squeeze. Squeeze harder. And then let's release. That's the only thing we're going to use the block for today. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together. Hallelujah. Those of you who sit in a chair, look, with two chairs, you can get into bound angle pose, just like we can on the floor. This is one of the best things about using two chairs, I think. So soles of the feet are together, knees are dropping wide. You can either hold on to the back of your chair and come a little bit forward, or you can stay upright, whatever feels best for you. Stretching the inner thighs that we were just strengthening there. Nice and tall. We've got our mountain posture here in the torso. Breathing, feeling that nice stretch in the inner thighs. And then we're going to pull the knees together. We can hug them into our chest. Give yourself that nice squeeze. This is what we usually are doing when we're on our backs. And then let's release, and for now, just use one chair again. Okay, so here we're going to scoot to the front of the chair, hold down to the back rails or the back of the seat, and lift both of your feet off the floor. This is our boat pose variation. So we're in a boat, abdominals working, and then we're going to bicycle a little bit. So we'll hop on our bikes. And then pedal backwards. Let's challenge our brains a little bit here. Pedaling backwards. And then forward again. And then feet to the floor. That's very hard to do in a chair. Really have to work. Let's circle around again. And breathe. And we'll circle the other way. And then let's come all the way back up. There's lots of ways to rotate, to twist using chairs. I have a couple of favorites. Let's move the second chair away. We're going to use it again. But for now, let your knees come to the right side of your chair. So I'm sitting here with my right shoulder next to the back of my chair. It's one of my favorite ways to twist in a chair. Feet are flat on the floor, so we feel grounded and connected. We're going to turn towards the back of the chair and put both hands on the back of the chair. I'm going to turn so you can see this. I've got both my hands on the back of the chair. And with my left hand, I'm going to pull. And with my right hand, I'm going to push. And that is going to bring me into that rotation a little bit deeper. Relax your shoulders, turn your head and look out over your right shoulder. And breathe and feel tall through the spine. Be tall through the spine. Be relaxed through the jaw. And then let's unwind on an in-breath. And we're going to swing our legs to the other side. So now our legs are going to the left side of our chair. I've got my left shoulder is next to the back of my chair. We're going to elongate the spine, take a breath, and rotate towards the back of the chair. So your head is going to keep turning. I'm now pulling with my right hand and pushing with my left hand, just to give myself that little bit of an extra firmness through the rotation. Chin stays level to the floor. We'll take a few breaths here. And then the next time you breathe in, let's unwind and come all the way back around. Okay, for right now, we'll keep our feet on the floor. I'm going to do one foot exercise that I really like. Two, we'll do two. Okay, so you feel the four corners of your feet on the floor. We're sitting nice and upright, maybe closer towards the front of the chair. And we're going to pretend like we have something underneath our feet, like a cloth or a piece of paper. And we're going to do this with our toes. We do this in class sometimes. You can do this in a chair very easily. You can do it standing up. But we're going to strengthen our arches and our toes by trying to scrunch up our imaginary dish towel or newspaper or whatever you've got underneath your toes. And then we'll relax the feet. Feel the four corners of your feet. With the four corners of your feet on the floor, let's lift up the toes, but keep the four corners of your feet on the floor. Some of you might have noticed that that lifts your arches a little bit, strengthens the arches. So we're going to keep the arches lifted and we're going to put the toes on the floor. So there's a little bit of effort here through the arch of your foot and then relax. Let's do a run again. Relax, everybody. Okay, so here we are. We're going to maybe lean up closer to the back of the chair, but we'll keep the spine long. If you feel like your chair is uncomfortable, this would be the time you could put your blanket there if you want. And we're going to move into the face just a little bit. So we're going to move the face around freestyle, I'll call it. So you're just doing whatever you want to stretch your face, opening, closing your eyes, opening, closing your mouth, sticking out your tongue. We'll say ah, ah. That's a kind of like a lion pose. And we'll keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Purse your lips, open your mouth wide, purse your lips, open your mouth wide, purse your lips. Now fill your lips with air. So lips are closed. You've filled your lips, around your lips with air. Relax your shoulders. And then relax your face. Feel the energy moving through your face. This is always a wonderful thing to feel, I think. All right, with your head completely straight and center, we're going to look up and down, up and down, up and down. So just your eyes are moving up and down, up and down, up and down. And then head stays completely still. Just the eyes are going to look side to side, 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 side to side. And then relax your eyes. We're going to rub our hands together and place our warm palms over our closed eyes, palming your eyes, resting in blackness, warmth and blackness. And then let's release. Let's take our blankets. Let's get ready for relaxation. So if you'd like to do what I showed you before, you're taking your blanket and you're folding it long ways as many times as you can before it gets a little bit awkward and fat. We're going to take that. We're going to put it around your neck like you're wearing a poncho here. And then it goes right up against your neck. I have these ear things on that kind of are in the way, but right up against your neck. Take the right tail and put it under your left arm. Take the left tail and put it under your right arm. So you've made yourself a little cowl neck blanket thing here. And then sit up against the back of your chair. And now during relaxation, I really don't worry so much about posture. Let's just relax and let go and be comfortable where we are. If you have this form around your neck and shoulders, it kind of holds you upright anyway, so you're not really, it's kind of hard to slouch forward here, which would be another great advantage to using this little technique. And then your head rests right on top of it. It's like you've made a little bowl for your head to sit in. And we're going to let our head sit in that little bowl of the blanket. Let your arms relax on your lap, wherever they fall naturally. Close your eyes if you are okay with that. And spend some time traveling through your body, noticing if there's any places to relax. So find those places where you typically hold tension. Shoulders, neck, and jaw are the three big ones, though I know a lot of people hold tension in their hips. So decide where you can let go a little bit more and let go. quiet your breath so it's an easy flow through your body, an easy rhythm flowing in and flowing out. Get a little bit more comfortable. Get a little bit more still, a little bit more quiet. And enjoy this time of just being here, sitting still, relaxing. If some of you prefer, you could have your feet on your chair and doing this. They don't have to be on your second chair. They don't have to be on the floor. If you feel like you're more comfortable using your second chair, feel free. When you feel like you've let go everywhere that you can, find another little place, another little nook or cranny in your body where there might be a little bit of tension hiding. Notice it, relax, and just let go. Let's begin to deepen the breath again. We can let our fingers and toes move again. We'll remove our blanket, let your head turn from side to side. And then begin to sit more upright in your chair again. So find our comfortable seat, our grounded seat, our lengthened spine, our open heart. And we'll take a couple deep breaths here, inviting gratitude into your heart this morning for your body, for this practice, which allows us to receive benefits, whether we're sitting on the floor, standing up, or sitting in a chair. Doesn't matter. There's so many ways to access all of the benefits of our practice. Let's bring our hands together in front of the heart center as we close our practice together. To honor yourself for who you are, just as you are, and just as you were intended to be. We honor each other in the same way. We honor all people and all the creatures of the earth. We honor this earth and feel gratitude for the many gifts that we enjoy in abundance every day. We feel our connection to each other, to all people, to all beings, to all things on earth. And we'll share our voices in the sound of our practice, in the sound of Om, taking a deep breath together. Om. May peace, joy, love, compassion, and gratitude fill your heart today and every day to overflowing. Namaste. And I thank you all for joining me. I hope even some of you who came just because you're sitting in office chairs feel like you got a little bit of something for the office. There's also a lot of obviously hand things that you could add to that. And maybe sometime I'll just do a class just for office workers, because I think there are some different things that you could do in an office chair and in your office around the walls. So I'll think about doing that. If you think that's valuable, then let me know.